Carrington Jackson. Thank you so much for tuning in. One of the most common requests I get in my classes are poses that help to stretch the side body. In yoga, we tend to focus much of our time on the front and back body, but lengthening the side body is necessary for expanding the breath and deepening twists and forward folds. I've created this 30-minute practice to make space in the side body to breathe, space to explore, and ultimately space to reach. It's up to you what you do with your reach, whether it's reaching for a higher shelf in your pantry or reaching for the stars. Creating space and breathing into that space mindfully is the first step. Before you begin, make sure to have props handy like blankets, blocks, pillows, or bolsters. So let's get started. But wait, this is the end. Let's go back to the beginning. Make your way to your mat and grab any props that you feel like would support your sitting practice. Something underneath your sit bones, a bolster, a blanket, a block even. And just start to move. Move organically in the way that your body is asking you to in order to find some space, in order to create some room for your breath. And when you feel ready, begin to settle your body. Lengthen the side waist, lengthen through the crown of the head, and feel your sit bones plugging into gravity. And begin to harness that gravity through the center of you so that it supports your rising. And with the palms facing upward, you are symbolizing a vehicle that is receptive and ready. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Last time in. Last time out. Feel yourself arriving. Bringing your palms together right in front of the heart and lowering your chin towards your chest. And create gratitude in this moment for this practice. For the opportunity to care for self, to return to self, and to create space in the body for the breath, for movement, for stillness, for the gifts that the practice brings. And place the palms of the hands down onto your mat as if this were a shaking of hands or a signing of a contract between you and you. As you begin to rise, make your way slowly into child's pose, removing anything that is on your mat that might be getting in the way. But again, using props as you need, possibly putting a blanket between your sit bones and your heels. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly begin to walk the hands past the left side of your mat. If it feels okay to you, you can lay on the forehead, but try to get heavy through the sit bones and reach a little longer through the right hand, breathing through the right side of the ribs and the right side of the body. Feel a steadiness. On your next breath in, walk the hands back through center and keep on going over to the right. Begin to melt the head and the chest, the sit bones, and reach longer through the left hand than the right, breathing underneath those left ribs deeply. Deep within the muscles between the ribs. Take a deep inhale and an exhale. And then begin to walk back through center and settle in. Bring the palms of the hands into Namaste, and then bending the elbows, point the fingers toward the nape of the neck. You might take this moment here and now to direct a prayer or an offering to the back of the heart, a place often forgotten. And then returning the hands back to the mat, rise up into table pose. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, take a C curve towards your left, and then back to center, and a C curve towards your right. You might feel the hips go along for the ride each time you bend to one side. Be sure to follow the breath. Your inhale will always take you home. Your exhale will take you to one side. And find some steadiness and press the floor away on your exhale. Let your inhale open the collarbones and lifting the tailbone, look up. And exhale, press the floor away. Start to find some power in your center to open the back of the heart. Do that one more time. Inhaling to open, and exhale, press and round. On your next breath in, lengthen the spine. Then begin to step back to plank pose. Take a deep inhale in plank pose, and press back into downward facing dog. Once you get into downward facing dog, begin to move organically, bending one knee at a time, swaying the hips from side to side, pressing through the heels, one at a time, until you find a balance of right to left, and find some stillness. From the center, reach through the sit bones. From your thighs, reach back and down. From your heart, reach through the fingertips. Be all in here. Next inhale, look forward to the front edge of your mat and step gently to the top with some space between your feet. Lengthen halfway up, and as you exhale, fold and soften those knees as much as you need. Pause for a moment here. Hook onto whatever you can hook onto, whether it's calves or maybe even elbows. If you have the elbows, take a sway from side to side if that feels okay on your hips and your spine. You might even interlace the hands behind the head and create a little bit more traction along the back of the neck. And then releasing the hands, bend your knees deeply and roll to stand, bone by bone, from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head. Begin to piece yourself together. And once you go high, go higher. Hands reach. And as you breathe out, pull your hands together right in front of your heart. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, release those hands alongside the body, palms forward into mountain. Inhale, hands go high. As you exhale, fold all the way down. Keep your knees soft. On your next breath in, lengthen halfway up. As you exhale, step to plank pose. Take a breath in and a breath out. Your next inhale, the right toes will lift. As you exhale, pull your right knee into chest. To the center, lift that knee a little higher and then set it down. Spin the sole of that left foot down and begin to peel yourself open. And the hand reaching long and away from the foot. Circle through the wrist joint a few times. And root long through the outer edge of that back foot. Breathe underneath your ribs. Your next inhale, let the hand go back towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, hand to the mat and level those hips. Inhale, press the floor away, lift the knee. And as you exhale, step to plank. Your next inhale, the left toes lift away from the mat. And as you breathe out, pull the knee in towards your chest. Inhale to lift the hips a little higher. And exhale to shin down. And the right foot plants. Peel yourself open. And reach. Right hand long and away from the right foot. And again, circle through the wrist joint if that feels right to you. And get as long as you can from the outside edge of the right foot through the right middle finger and everything in between. And your next inhale, right hand goes high. And as you breathe out, hand to the mat, level the hips. Inhale, press the floor away, knee lifts, and exhale, plank pose. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, come to your belly. Use your knees if you need. Widen your hands to the sides, up onto your fingertips, elbows high. With a grounded pelvis, lift the heart and chest, and right shoulder dips down into center. Keep rooting through your feet. Inhale, rise back up. And exhale, other side, left shoulder dips down. It's up to you how high you go. Inhale, rise back to center. And exhale, right shoulder dips in. One more time. Inhale, rise back up. And left shoulder dips in. Inhale back to center. Heart opens up. And exhale to the mat. Hands underneath shoulders. Plant them down to press. Tuck the toes and take it back. Downward facing dog. Fully alive in your body. Let the shape feel as if it were a coming home to the breath, the centering of the heartbeat. Your next inhale, look forward and step to the top. Lengthen halfway up, and exhale, fold, and again, those knees can stay soft. Press the floor away and rise, hands reach. Take a side bend here, grab your right wrist and hinge left. Rooting down through your feet, come on back up, switch the grip. Give some length and exhale, hinge over to your right. Do that again, inhale, rise up, switch the grip. Exhale, hinge left. Root down through your feet to rise, and exhale, hinge right. Come on back to center, switch the grip. Exhale, hinge left, and we'll pause here for a moment. Either stay here or step the right toes to the outside edge of that left heel. Balance may be a little unsteady here. If so, just keep your feet parallel. Otherwise, root down through your feet to reach. Your next inhale, come on back up, parallel your feet to switch the grip. Exhale, hinge right. Either stay here or those left toes behind that right heel. This will give you more sensation. So if this is not the right choice for you, then just keep your feet side by side. It's all good. Anchor through your feet and reach long. Inhale, come on back up, parallel your feet. Exhale, sit back to chair pose and press those hands back behind you. Inhale, rise, straighten the legs, heart lifts. Again, sit back to chair, palms press straight back. Feel the power in your legs give you a lift. Begin to sit back, press a little more strongly into the heels. Inhale, rise. Exhale, descend. Inhale, rise. Exhale, descend. Hands to heart on your inhale. Stay low in that chair and fold forward and straighten the legs. Inhale, lengthen halfway up and step to plank pose and back to down dog. Inhale, shift forward. Lower your knees. Open your collarbones, lengthen your tailbone, and come to your belly. Untuck your toes. Inhale to cobra pose, low, medium, or high. And then tuck the toes and press back, downward dog. Breathe, steady. Your inhale, the right toes will lift away from the mat. Step through between your hands. Spin the back heel down and peel yourself open towards the left side of your mat with wide legs. Begin to fold in. You might use blocks if the floor is far away, or you might walk your hands through between your feet if you're pretty close to the mat. Keep lifting your sit bones up and lengthening your neck long. You can always keep the knees slightly bent if your hamstrings feel a little tight or unsettled. Walk the hands back through, and then spin your heels in and your toes out. Bend your knees, hands onto the thighs, and slowly rise up. Heart and chest lift, and hands to heart center as you exhale. Now interlace the fingers, press the palms forward and up, straighten the legs. Bend the knees, hands back to the heart. Again, interlace the hands as they reach, legs straighten. Exhale, knees bend and hands to heart. Just keep on going. Inhale, press to rise. Exhale, descend. Inhale, press to rise. Feel that length in the side body and come back home to your heart. Inhale, rise and descend. Inhale, rise. And exhale, descend. Inhale, rise. And exhale, descend. Stay here on the breath in and hands to the mat on the breath out. Parallel those feet and lengthen the legs. Come halfway and to lunge at the front of your mat. Gently lower the back knee down and level the hips as you slowly rise. Hands to heart. Press the palms forward and all the way up. And take another side bend. Grab that left wrist with the right hand. Center through the hips and root down and anchor down through that back foot. That'll help you with balance. Feeling the right glute charged up with power. Inhale, rise back up, unhook the hands and take them to the mat. And the back knee will lift. Pick up your right leg and step to plank and press back into downward facing dog. Another side, left leg lifts long and up behind you. And from your center, step through between your hands, back heel down, and pivot to the right side of your mat. The long spine lengthen and a longer spine fold. This time take a shoulder opener, interlace the hands onto the back body. Begin to stretch the hands up and away as much as the shoulders feel comfortable. You can also hold on to a towel or strap if the fingers don't quite bind. With every exhale, a little bit more of a fold in your body if that feels okay to you. Breathe. Hands onto the back, unhook those fingertips, and take the palms of the hands flat to the mat. Lengthen. Hands to hips and feet will stay parallel this time as you rise. And bring your hands to your heart. Spin your left toes forward, extend through the arms, widen the legs as you need to, and exhale into Warrior Two, left knee bends. Straighten that leg parallel the feet and the hands will reach. Other side, Warrior Two to the right. Press the floor away, rise, parallel the feet. Left toes spin forward, knee bends, and spread those wings. Inhale, rise, that left glute charges up to reach through the hands. And then the right knee bends, Warrior Two to the right. Inhale, rise back to center. And to the left. Inhale, rise long through the side body. Right knee bends, Warrior Two. Inhale back to center, parallel those feet, and exhale, hands to the mat. Lengthen halfway up, and pivot to the front of the mat and lunge. Gently that back knee will come down. Pad the knee with a blanket if you need. Hands to hips and slowly rise. And then from the heart, reach the hands forward and up. We'll take a side bend. With that left knee forward, you'll hinge left. Grab a hold of that right wrist. Anchor into whatever is rooted onto your mat. And breathe. Your next inhale will carry you back to center. And your exhale will plant the hands to the mat and the back knee will lift. To plank pose with the right leg and downward facing dog. Steady. Shift forward into plank pose and lower your knees as you exhale. Open your collarbones and look forward, and your elbows come halfway down. Now lift your knees. Chaturanga Dandasana, open a heart, lift the chest, keep your thighs lifted, and press back, downward facing dog. Breathe. Lower your knees to the mat and sit back into child's pose. Begin to take your hands back towards your feet, and then your shoulders dip forward. Might even rock from temple to temple very slowly, side to side. Breathe. See what changes, breath by breath. Your next breath in, begin to take the hands forward and rise up. And find a comfortable seat. Again, use a prop underneath you if that helps to support the lift in your spine. Begin to stretch your legs out wide. Knees and toes pointing straight up. Find a steadiness and an ease. Feel your hands reach back behind you for scaffolding and root down through the floor. And bring your hands to your heart, palms forward and up. And pausing here from the tailbone through the palms of the hands, reaching as much length in the side body as you can create. Breathe up and down the spine. On your exhale, return the hands to the heart. Take the hands to the floor right in front of you. Begin the slow journey towards a fold that feels appropriate to your body. Take a step or two and breathe. Another step and two, and breathe. And just keep on going in increments until you find the place where you're greeting a soft edge, not anything that's forced or hard or painful, but something that feels spacious and sustainable. Remember to feel the breath rise and fall as much as you watch it move in and out. As you're ready, slowly walk the hands back in. Using your arm strength, pull your left heel in towards the body, the knees bent. The right leg stays where it is. The right hand extends out onto the thigh or the shin. And slowly reach the right hand towards the right foot. Go as long as you can, comfortably. Left hand is on the left hip to keep it rooted. You might even take the hand up and overhead. Give you a little bit more length through the left side body. That it all feels uncomfortable in your back, just keep the hand onto the thigh. Steady in your breath. Come on back up. Root down through the thigh to rise. And you'll switch sides. Keep the knee and the toes pointing upward. The right heel in towards the pelvis. The left hand will slowly slide down towards the left ankle as much as it feels appropriate. The right hand rooting the right hip and thigh down. Either stay there or take a nice long reach through the body. Breathe. And your next inhale, come on back up. This time the soles of the feet will meet in the middle into a Baddha Konasana or a bound angle. Again, use whatever props that you might need. A blanket underneath the sit bones even, blankets or blocks underneath your knees. Get some length in the body. And then walk the hands forward, again in increments with breath. You might grab a hold of the feet if you want more sensation. Elbows into the inner thighs and gently pressing down. Try not to round too much in the upper back. Keep lots of space in the chest for breath. Every inhale will give you length. And every exhale might take you a little bit more into the shape. Inhale, rise, and use your arm strength to draw the inner thighs and knees together. And make your way towards the short edge of your mat. Find your way in the middle. Begin to roll through the spine with knees bent, pull against the shins. Inhaling, lifting the collarbones, opening the heart. Lean back, arms will straighten, chin towards your chest. Pull against the legs and inhale, open the spine up. From your center, slowly reach back, breathe behind the heart. Roll onto your back, draw the knees along for the ride, and place the feet down. With some space between your feet, hands reaching towards the toes. Inhale, lift the sit bones up, coming about halfway up to a bridge, and exhale, landing the sit bones down. Your arms will start to go along for the ride, finding a synchronicity with the hips reaching and the arms reaching at the same time. Find a steadiness of the flow, one not landing sooner than the other, but both in agreement, up and down. Inhale, rise. And exhale, descend. Inhale, rise. Side body long, and exhale, descend. Settle your hips and stack your right knee on top of your left. Widen out your wings. Scoot your hips a tad to the right and gently let the knees go up and over to the left. As your body begins to trust gravity here, let gravity help you in this twist, settling the bones and twisting around the center of you. Feel the rise and fall over your breath, every exhale, releasing a little bit more from the center. Steady. On your next breath in, come on back to center. And onto the other side, stack the left knee on top of the right. Scoot the hips a tad to the left and let the knees go up and over to the right. Widen out those wings. Land the shoulders, and you might even use your hand onto your thigh to give you a little bit more sensation within the twist. But it's up to you. Listen to your body. Feel the earth rise up to meet you. And steady and settle your breath. As you're ready, come on back up. Unstack your knees and level your hips. Draw your knees in towards your chest and have an easy rock from side to side. You might even take a happy baby, keeping the angle of the knees at 90 degrees and reaching the ankles, the calves, or the feet. As you're ready, begin to prepare for Savasana. You might roll up a blanket or a pillow and place it underneath the knees to give some support for your back as you recline. Tuck the shoulders nice and tidy underneath you. Take a hand to the belly, breathe and settle, and then return it to the mat, palms up. Lots of space between your feet. Take a deep inhale, open your mouth and exhale it out. Feel the earth rise up to meet you. And allow for that support to happen within your body. Savasana is corpse pose. It is the place where we let go of who comes onto the mat and we make room for who will leave. Because likely the two are different. Settle your heart. Settle your mind. The soul meet body. And rest. breath. Take one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. Begin to expand the breath into those places. Feel the rise and fall. Let your heart feed your center and your center feed your heart. And come alive in this body born from practice. Bend your knees, take a nice stretch. Truly waking up to a new being. And roll onto your side. Pause there for just a moment. And then press yourself up to sit. Make your sitting posture comfortable with any props that you might need or want. And as you begin, sit tall. Hands to heart, take a side body reach. Expand those hands out slowly until they land on top of your lap. If you like, connect the index fingers to thumbs and this gesture of connection. Steady in your breath. Together at your heart and lower your chin towards your chest. And again, into the palms of the hands we place gratitude for the privilege of this practice. May we carry this practice long into the days ahead. May it serve us well. May we serve it well. Namaste. Thank you so much.